Guys, back in today with another reaction to Oshi, this time of season 3 episode 1, which I'm really excited for. I haven't rewatched last season, but honestly I feel like the events are still quite fresh in my mind. Obviously a few of the details I'll probably miss out on, so apologies, but really enjoyed the stage play that we've done. I thought that was awesome, a good look into the production of that, how the actors kind of work together and work off each other. Kana was especially really awesome during that, as well as the names are going to be Akane. She was also fantastic. They had a bit of a drama between them, to say the least. But we also saw Ruby. I think she found the bodies of her and Aqua, their original pre reincarnated bodies, which was all kind of messed up. I think there was something with a ghost girl as well. I'm really not sure what the deal with that was, but like I said, hopefully a bit more of it does come back to me. But as I said, a lot of it's still quite fresh, and it wasn't actually that long ago that it was airing. I don't think, only about a year or so ago. So yeah, didn't really feel the need to watch a recap or anything, but hopefully we might get a little something like that at the start here. But yeah, as you guys know, I love the deep look into like the production of these kind of media events and stuff. I think it's so cool. I imagine for a lot of people that like reincarnation stuff is like the main thing, but for me, my main thing I come to this series for is again looking at like the characters and what they've got to deal with and the surrounding parts of a media production. That's like 20 million. Holy crap. Yeah, it did say 20 million. Does it? Yeah. You guys are the big time. Make sure it's not a one-hit wonder. It's kind of interesting to think about because I had that kind of special look in her eye, that kind of special something as well, but this is like a dark version of that. The similar thing. Good idea. Getting into every area. Streaming, shorts. Oh, that's about it, but yeah. See, I've got no idea what I'm doing, to be honest with you guys. People always talk about like an algorithm and stuff. I wouldn't even know the first place to look at that kind of thing. Wow. So it's not going to be a one-hit wonder. Definitely. Definitely. Well done, girls. So how much time's passed since last season then? Netflix. Not exactly the company you want to work with, I don't think. Maybe from a money perspective. But in terms of them wanting to ruin movies and destroy cinemas, I'm not sure you'd want to work with them. And you were a middle-aged woman as a 5-year-old. Seems busy. Seems busy. They all seem pretty exhausted. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like they're so bubbly, seemingly so bubbly and expressive on the camera, then just seem very uncontent. The end there. So I've got something to say about like this relationship stuff here. It's that there's very much like two sides to this, isn't there? There's the Kana and the Akane kind of side of like who they want to win. But I'm just like thinking, do you actually want them to win? Because Aqua's not really like a great catch, if you know what I'm saying. Is that winning if they win his love? Like, he's not a bad person, like, especially as a doctor. He was a really nice guy, respectable, lovely. But as Aqua, as the person Aqua, I'm not sure he's the catch. Everybody wants their favorite girl to win, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know. He wouldn't seem to be a great person to date. Just outward, like as an outsider's perspective. Gotta start wearing disguises, are you? Akane, getting that big. Revengey, hey? Is that their dad right there? So they working with their dad. Well, Ruby anyway. She working with her potential dad on. Oh, that just happened. Big fan here. Um, this guy, he reminds me a little bit of, not exactly the same, but it reminds me of the chubbier character from Sangatsu no Lion. He was really adorable. Who I really liked. Wow, are we? Is that? Wow. Sorry, it's just like it's. I'm interested in this because that was a really cool cut to like from the performance to the TV. Is that going to happen every episode? Is that just like a one-off thing? Are they gonna implement that into every episode in some way, or probably more more likely is they're not, but pretty awesome way to integrate that into the first episode at the very least. Really nice opening there as well. Was that cast sung? Was that sung by all the girls? Can't be 100% sure, but it sounded like it was, which is really cool. But yeah, looks like they. So are they currently working with? Uh, Again, as I said, some of the details I can't fully remember, but they're like, is he do the production or direction of this performance then? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean that makes sense. You can't really be underground if you want. I mean they don't really go hand in hand, do they? Major performance, underground band doesn't really make sense, does it? Yeah, I would say this area. I don't know. I say this like this area seems more accessible than ever with technology and the internet, but also less accessible than ever because so many people, because you're competing with so many people now as well. Mm. Judging by that last scene we saw with, yeah, with them looking very gloomy and uncontent, how long is it going to last? Well, you got a good eye, bro. You got a good eye. I won't be able to handle this. If my videos ever became, well, maybe I might do some things here and there, but if my videos ever became going out of my room a lot, which sounds terrible, but if they ever became something like outside of my room, I don't think I'd be able to handle it, or I wouldn't want to. Well, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe we need to spice up a little bit. Get a new member. Big deep. Ebisu. When are we gonna get Doro season fucking 2, man? What about Ebisu? Yo, mem. Still feeling like this. Six. So it's been 6 months. That poor girl. I mean that does just show how genuinely lovely she is, though, doesn't it? I imagine plenty of people would be up to some kind of scheming plot. I always forget this because she does look like 15, but Mem's like 30 or something, right? She might have a bit of experience. Could help out a little bit. Really? That's a good law. Never heard of that. Not that I've cared to look anything like that up, though. That's, yeah. Do you want to? I mean, that's like I say the easy option. It's not like an easy option, but for him, it's the simple road because it's just doing what he done before. But would you want to, if you got a chance at like a second life, would you carry on path you initially left? Maybe you never wanted to leave it. Is an argument you could say to that. But this is like a chance to something new, right? Her eyes look like the view at the ocean during like a summer's day, don't they? What is that T-shirt? I just really noticed. True, true. Is that one of the big reasons why? Is it? Jeez, yeah. I mean, it looks like it. And yeah, of course, we got big experience with that. Yeah, that makes sense. Hmm. Yeah, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe because he loves her, he's not dating her. Yeah, makes sense. To be honest, I mean, it sounds obvious now you look at it like this, but I didn't really think of it that way. It's been so long since that eye stuff. But it is a massive foundation as to who these people are, isn't it? So. No, this is a bit more bubbly. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? An intense look right there from Accra. Yeah, I've had that. I mean, it might sound cringe, but sometimes when you like someone and they're like a really good person, sometimes you know you're not like the best person for them, or like you'd be bad for them, or they deserve better. So it's best to just not pursue. I mean, usually for me, it's usually pretty instant. Of like, oh, that girl's. A lot of the time, it's just like they're too attractive, just purely based off like looks. But if they're like lovely, it's like, wow, that girl, way too lovely. She deserves a much more successful guy. And maybe it's bad to think that way sometimes, but um, yeah, this is a bit different because they know each other really well, and he's got a massive, he's been massively impacted by something very similar. I kind of forget who this girl is. She's like a massively popular model or something, right? Got lizard eyes. I think we saw a bit of her last season, but she was like a major character, I don't think, was she? What do you mean? What is going on here? That's Pikachu. Some sweaty, sweaty otaku. What the hell? What is this show? I swear, like every Japanese show has got like 1,000 adverts around the outside of it as well. Just like so much dialogue circling the screen. Really hard to like pay a lot of attention. So that's her idea. Getting that those business smarts. I mean, as with what we said about Kana, he's also got to worry about that happening to his sister as well, of course, hasn't he? In revealing you've got a brother isn't going to be a massive thing in that, but you never know. And nepotism. Got nepotism. That's usually a pretty big one you see in these industries. E-brain. The dark eye. Ichigo Saito. This is the dude that is potentially their father, I think. Down bad. Is that it? I guess so. Okay. Really good first episode. Mem. The only English name. Mem. Memchi Chio. Does that say? Memcho? Yeah, really good first episode. Opening was great. Of course, for me, the best scene was honestly was Mem and Aqua's moment where it was talking about Kana, which is unfortunate for her. As you guys know, Kana's my favourite character. Just because we've had the most depth with her in terms of, again, like the productions of shows, her thoughts on that, her thoughts towards other actors, her being a young child star. It's always like super intriguing because in the real world, there's there's very few child stars that continue to be stars as they grow up. There's usually something. I mean, just recently there was that whole thing about that Disney star, right? That was homeless. He was in Disney TV shows, and 10 years, 15 years later, he's homeless on the streets, and people using him as some kind of social prop to prop themselves up to make them seem like charitable, nice people, which was kind of disgusting. But yeah, it's just like that's not the only case of that. Like there's been plenty of yeah, you guys know she's my favorite character, so sad to see her this way, but good to see her this way. In regard, you don't want to see it, but it's an interesting kind of place where she's at. It's an interesting kind of thing they got going on with Aqua and his thoughts. Like I said, it's quite romantic in terms of he likes her, so that's not to be with her. Again, I've been there myself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Not to that degree or regard, I don't think. Maybe it's just more of a self-confidence thing for me rather than an admirable thing. But yeah, good episode. Like I said, the opening was great. Love how they transitioned that into the episode as well. B-Komachi getting big nowadays, so a little bit scary, honestly. Sometimes, like as I said earlier, I wouldn't ever want to be like massive. I wouldn't ever want to like walk out on the streets and people recognize me or anything. Like I think there's a scary degree of like recognition, isn't there? And I personally like. I mean, as we saw with like you can get killed by these people that are like your fans, and just for something stupid. So yeah, a lot to worry about. Like it's not all like I was gonna say that during the scene where he was talking about them getting more famous, like that was a good thing. Like yeah, I mean getting more famous I guess is a good thing. It means more work and so on, but it's like, is it all a good thing? There's plenty of negatives that come with that as well. You can't have much of a social life. You've got to hide your social life and so on and so forth. There's honestly there might be more negatives than positives. The positive being more money, which I mean if you're completely money driven then yeah, whatever. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff to speak about. The vibe is not great, honestly, with B-Komachi. It's kind of, I think this scene summed up pretty well, just like dark and dreary. Mem trying to brighten up a little bit, but yeah, the girls just Kanna and Ruby seemingly just a little bit darker, a little bit more moody and glum. And how long is it going to last with this being the kind of atmosphere behind things? It was so upbeat and enthusiastic, and I think you could say that about a lot of. Again, I haven't really got too much experience with this, but when you're like starting out like a band or like a YouTube channel or something, there's a lot of enthusiasm initially. You're ready to go. You're pumped. You want to succeed, and then when you get there, you kind of run out of steam a little bit. You kind of, oh, this is it. Hey, this is where I'm at. Just got to keep doing this. Just got to keep being busy while kind of missing out on things that maybe I should prioritize or have a bit of time to be a teenager. Of course, Kanna is a very unique case in that regard, isn't she? Again, why she's one of my favorite characters. But yeah, like I said, my favorite scene was definitely the Mem Aqua scene here. It was quite intense, quite revealing as well. Although it shouldn't have been, like I said, I probably should have been thinking about that kind of side of things anyway. But it was best to like hear that actually from the person themselves. But yeah, looking forward to seeing more of this guy as well. I think we saw him at the grave last season or something, right? Yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know any of your interpretations or thoughts on this episode. I'd absolutely love to hear it. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you next week with episode 2.